This is pure racism. I don't know why we want to tinker around with it and pretend as if it's something other than what it is. I like to call a thing a thing. And he has told us time and time again who he was when he talked about certain people being from certain shithole countries. Those are his words. Only reason I'm cussing in this moment. When he said things like they are eating the cats and dogs. We knew exactly what we were getting. And some people are saying, I don't know how we got here, but I do. Because we know that dehumanizing, I believe that you said something to the effect of cruelty and humiliation are the point. That's what you said, Miss Patty. Because when we look at other places, say places that did things like, oh, you know, go door to door, looking for people as they had to hide out, say in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being...
No more lying friends, wanting tragic ends, though they do pretend they won't go when I go.
Dear politicians and political influencers, when you evoke my father this MLK Day, remember that he was resolute about eradicating racism, poverty, and militarism, and about corrective justice work. Bernice King went on to say, don't just quote him, encourage and enact policies that reflect his teachings. And doing just that is going to be a tough pill for a lot of Americans to swallow. Being real, if MLK was alive today, he would be told, shut up, we don't want to hear none of that woke stuff, especially by the folks that love to quote him. Especially for the folks that love to sanitize his legacy and tone police his people. The legacy of Dr. King has been so romanticized and reconfigured that he's literally been boiled down to a bus boycott and a dream speech. So instead of being lost in the sauce and the people who had the caucasity to remix this man's legacy, let's remember Dr. King for who he really was. A black, radical, anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, revolutionary Christian internationalist who was deemed an enemy of the state and assassinated for his radical work. In conclusion, if any corporation puts up a quote from MLK or his photo and they have Dr. King's daughter posted this picture on her Instagram and left this message as a caption. Many quote my daddy today, but when he was alive, he was one of the most hated men in the United States. And I suspect that among many of those who quote him, there were those who hate the authentic, peacemaking, truth-telling, poverty, racism, militarism, eradicating King. And I thought, like, if I'm annoyed with how romanticized and sanitized they did this man's legacy, imagine how his daughter feel with how they play with his name. Imagine how she feel when acknowledging the same folks that had it where she was living in fear when her daddy was alive is the same folks now trying to get brownie points for quoting her father. They don't like us being intersectional. They don't like us